Hi, I'm Zane, founder and president of Zane Cycles, the largest provider of premium bicycles in the United States. Thank you for choosing one of our bicycles. I'm confident that you're going to receive the highest quality service and product available in the industry. Your bike was fully assembled and test-ridden in our facility prior to us shipping it to you. Now, the only thing that stands between you and getting out on your bike is me for the next few minutes as I go over the final assembly process from carton to ready to ride. This is the package that you're going to receive from one of our delivery companies. And I just want to take a second to show you a label that we put on the outside of the box that's specific to your bicycle. It has the manufacturer, it has the model, the color, the size, and even has the name of the guy who built your bike in our facility. And there's a shipping label that has the tracking number. There's also an 800 number, 888-735-2453, that you can call us if you have a problem with the bike. But do me a favor, hold on to the packing material in the box until you've actually ridden your bike. Because if we need to get it back in our facility, we're going to want you to use this carton to get it back to us. The first step is to actually remove your bicycle from the carton. One of the things that we do is that we put all of the parts attached to the bicycle. So an open carton doesn't mean that you're missing any parts if you receive it from the delivery company. Also, if there's a box in here that's empty, it's usually in there for packaging to keep the bicycle from moving around during transit. The next step is to locate and remove the parts bag. In the parts bag is everything that you're going to need to reassemble your bicycle. The pedals, the mechanism to attach the front wheel to the bike, a couple of tools that you're going to need, as well as the owner's manual and the warranty registration card from the manufacturer. Now I'd like you to remove the packing material and the plastic ties that we use to secure the bike during shipping. Do me a favor, use a pair of nibs or a sharp pair of scissors rather than a razor blade to cut the material. We don't want you to scratch your new bike. To install the seat on your bicycle, open the quick release lever, insert the seat post into the frame, and close the quick release lever. If for some reason the seat is loose in the frame, you open the quick release lever, snug up on the nut that tensions the quick release lever, and then reclose the quick release lever, and your seat will be tight in the frame. By the way, some manufacturers don't use quick release mechanisms to tighten the seat to the frame. They use a hex bolt, and the tool that you'll need to tighten this is included in your parts kit. Now to install the handlebars, rotate the fork counterclockwise. We do this to protect the brakes during shipping. And there's actually a note on the packaging material that tells you to turn the fork counterclockwise in order to align it correctly for the bike. With the hex wrench that's provided in your parts kit, loosen the stem bolt 3 complete turns and remove the plastic cap off the bottom of the stem. This is put on for shipping purposes and can be discarded. Now, take the 2 cables that are furthest away from you and bring them up over the top of the frame. Insert your stem into the bicycle and make sure that you insert your stem at least as far as the markings that say minimum height for safety purposes. Once installed, tighten your stem very tight. As a reference for the correct cable routing for your bicycle, the front brake cable is in front of all of the other cables. The cable on the left side crosses over to the right side of the bike, and the 2 cables on the right side of the bike cross over to the left side of the bike. To install the handlebar on the headset system, remove the retention plate from the end of the stem. To ensure proper cable routing, take the 2 cables that are furthest away from you and bring them up over the top of the stem. This will ensure smooth braking and shifting. Now rotate the handlebar and place it into the end of the stem. Reinstall the retention plate. Don't worry about alignment right now. We'll take care of that when we're doing final adjustments. Now that your handlebars are installed, I want to provide an overview of cable routing and handlebar alignment. The front brake cable should come across the top of all of the cables. The cable on the left should come across to the right side of the frame, and the 2 cables on the right should come across to the left side of the frame. We've installed a piece of white tape to show you how you need to put your handlebars to have correct alignment. If this tape is on the opposite side, the handlebars are upside down. Remove the retention plate, turn the handlebars over, and make sure that these lines are correct. Now that we know everything's routed properly and aligned, I'd like to go over tightening the retention plate. Using the provided Allen wrench, tighten the cap screws equally, top and bottom, until it's very snug. I'd like to have the distance between the stem and the retention plate be the same on the top and the bottom when we're done. And remember, make sure they're really tight. In order to install the front wheel on your bike, you need to release the brake caliper so that the wheel will fit past the brake pads. To do this, pull the cable and release the quick release mechanism so that the calipers open wide enough for the wheel to fit. To attach the front wheel of your bicycle, you need to install the quick release skewer into your hub. To do that, release the nut on the outside and remove one of the two springs that are on the shaft. Insert into the hole and go all the way through. There may be a plastic cap in the end of the hub that's to protect it from shipping. You can discard that. Now, install the spring with the small side against the hub and reattach the nut just a couple of turns because we're going to need to adjust that once the wheel is in the fork. To install the wheel on the bicycle, first notice on the quick release mechanism that there's open and close marked on the lever. Make sure that open is facing you so that way it'll slide into the dropouts. Lift up the handlebar of the bike, roll in the wheel into the fork, and now to adjust the quick release lever, leave the lever facing the floor and tighten the nut until it's finger tight. Then align the lever with the fork and throw the quick release lever. It's tight enough when it makes a mark in your hand. If it's not, release it and adjust the tension on the opposite side, and then throw the lever again to make sure that it's snug. Also, don't use this lever like a wing nut and just keep tightening it up because it's not as tight as the cam mechanism that's designed underneath this cap. Also, make sure that your wheel is aligned over the center of your fork when you throw the quick release lever after its final adjustment. Now we need to re-engage the brake by redoing what we undid in order to get the wheel into the fork. Bring the quick release tab across the top of the tire, pull on the cable, and slide the cable through the cutout in the quick release tab. Now your brakes are ready to be used. And if you have a side pull brake like this, which is on most road bikes, to open up the brake pads, move the tab, and then the wheel will fit in between the pads. Once you're done, bring the tab back down so that your brakes are engaged correctly against the rim. Included in the parts kit is the wrench that you're going to need to tighten the pedals onto your cranks. Stamped into the end of the pedal is an L for left and an R for right. And we also include a sticker that says L for left and R for right with an arrow that shows which way to tighten the pedal into the crank. The left-hand pedal is a left-hand thread, which means you need to turn it counterclockwise to tighten it. The right side is a right-hand thread and is a traditional way of tightening. To tighten your pedals, use the supplied wrench. And once it's snug, really lean in and make sure that it's tight because we want that not to loosen up when you ride. Now that your bike's assembled, before we go out for your first test ride, let's go through a couple of things to make sure that it's safe and adjust it to you. To adjust the seat height, open the quick release lever, adjust the seat so it's at about belt height level, and then close the quick release lever. Grab the seat, give it a good tug, and make sure that it doesn't move in the frame. For final seat adjustment, refer to your owner's manual, and it'll give you some more information on how to get the correct fit. Straddle the front wheel, grab the handlebars, and give them a good tug. Also, try to twist them. If any of that moves, go back and tighten those bolts to make sure that it doesn't move. Check your quick release lever, make sure the close is facing out, and check the back one as well. If it got moved during shipping, you don't want to make sure it's set correctly. Then pick up the front wheel, bang it, and make sure that it doesn't move in the fork. If it does, go back and adjust the quick release tension as well. And then grab the brakes, and make sure that they engage correctly. With all that stuff, you're ready to go out and try your new ride. Have fun. Now that your bike's assembled, I'd like to share a troubleshooting tip with you. If when you squeeze your brake levers, one of the brake pads moves and the other one doesn't, what you can do is on the side that isn't moving, there's an adjustment screw that you can tighten with a Phillips head screwdriver, bringing the pad away from the rim. With a turn or two, it should make it so that the pads pull evenly. An additional tip, if after final assembly your brakes are so tight that the wheel won't roll, your brake cable may be incorrectly routed during the assembly process. If the cable comes across the front and around the back, we're going to need to fix the way that the fork is positioned on the bike. To do that, take the retention plate off the stem, remove the front wheel, turn the fork around 360 degrees, and reattach the handlebars and reinstall the wheel. That should solve your problem. Okay, you should have a fully assembled bike and you've been out and gone for your test ride. So I just want to let you know that if you have any problem whatsoever, we want to hear from you. Call us at 888-735-2453 or go to our website, www.ezanes.com, and give us feedback, positive or negative. Actually, this video came from feedback from people that said that they'd like to see an interactive display on how to get their bike fully assembled. Now that we're done, hopefully you're going to have a great time. Go out, have fun, and enjoy your bike.